let's talk about adding color, pictures, stories, and technology. This is not recommended on the HGTV channel. I will tell you this ahead of time, but it is something that is so invaluable in your school. So when we would be studying a specific topic, I would get posters or pictures, or my kids would draw things and we'd put them on the wall. We'd have our alphabet on the wall. We'd have our scripture memory verse. I painted blackboards in some of our houses. We've lived in multiple places. I was kind of excited to talk about road schooling today, unfortunately with that not happening. But we have homeschooled in our RV twice. And so there's been some ways that we've had to tweak and change things. But when I've had the wall space, I have made huge sections of wall space for putting learning items up. Now, that is helpful when we're schooling, but it is also helpful whenever a child walks through that room. Do you know what they're doing? They're looking. They're looking at that wall, and it's re-engaging their mind to remember what lessons you did, topics you discussed. All of that comes flooding back, and they're creating new neural nets as they're walking, which adds activity and actually deeper engages that into their thinking processes. So the more you add to the walls, the more you continue teaching when you're not teaching, and your kids see that. So that's why timelines are so effective, why posters are incredible, chalkboards, whiteboards, adding your student art up there. Just consider even like magazines. And I love the Charlotte Mason methodologies of, engaging with good artwork, because you can have a full discussion over one piece of art, and maybe it's just something that you found in an old book and you stuck it up on the wall. This is the art we're going to talk about this week, or the artist, or anything. Just know that whatever you put on the wall has a much greater impact than just the lesson where you pointed to it. Because again, your children are in that room more than just when they do school, hopefully. Most families do not school in a school room. They school in a general area of their house. Mine happened to either be in my kitchen or dining room. And so those were rooms we were in constantly, and my kids were always looking at what was on the walls. Okay, on to the next thing. Incorporate charts and graphic organizers. These things are everywhere and they're free. This one that I have on this slide was something free I found on the internet. For kids who have executive functioning issues, this is a game changer. Use these resources. Teach your children how to use these resources. These are going to be helpful for them when they get older. They're going to know that these things exist, how to access them. My daughter even ended up finding an app that worked for her that helped her graphically organize her thoughts, because she was working on a project and she just couldn't keep track of everything. I said, why don't you figure out an app that works for you? So she went through quite a few of them, downloaded them, tried them, and then erased them, and then tried new ones. As an older student, that's good. But if you have younger students, use the paper ones. Use ones they can interact with so that they get used to what these things are for and how to use them, and do them with them at first. Don't just hand it to them and say, okay, just do it. No, that I want you to use the neurodevelopmental approach of I do, watch me as I do this, and then you do. 3 times parent doing the activity while the child watches, and 1 time the child doing it, and then back again. This is how we teach. We don't teach by just telling our child to do something. We teach by showing and giving examples. So just incorporate these types of things throughout your homeschooling. It's going to give your student the ability to take notes better, to organize their thoughts better, to write papers better, to give presentations better. All of this, just organization mentally, that we often have a really difficult time with in our society.